Okay, so the first thing I do is I pick the colors that I want to do the water marble for, and then I have to pick out the colors that are in my nail polish collection and test out to see which colors work the best. Now, most of the colors that I have, I know which polishes work and which don't, but sometimes some polishes dry faster than others, so they're not going to work well together. So the first thing I have to do is start testing out polishes. Now these two I've already tested out. These two work great with each other. This is Orly's Liquid Vinyl, and then this is Circus by Andrea's Choice Ringmaster. So I wanted to do a pink and black because that's the color combination that was requested in the video. And I picked out a couple of pinks. I picked out a pink from OPI first, but that was drying too fast. And then I picked out a Wet n Wild pink, but I wasn't getting enough polish on the brush, so the black was drying. And then I chose this color, and this worked great with that. So after finding the colors that worked well together, I usually choose a white base color for my nails, but if one of the colors that I choose is bright enough that the polish will show up on it, I will paint my nails with that as my base color. So I did paint my nails with this, the Ringmaster color, as my base color, so that when I do the water marble, the pink will really show up, and so will the black. Next, I have my paper cup of water. It is tap water, even though I've heard that the filtered water works best. I have not tried filtered water yet because just regular tap water works best for me. But I probably will try out filtered water just to see how much of a difference it makes. But I use tap water because it's free. And I'm always getting this question, what is room temperature water? So basically, I have a bottle of water, just a regular bottle of water filled with tap water. I have that sitting on my vanity all the time, and whenever I want to do water marble, I have the water already room temperature. Basically, it's just the water that's been sitting in my room for over 24 hours, and anytime I run out or I see that I'm getting low on the water, I just fill it back up and put it back on my vanity, and whenever I'm ready to do water marble, then it's ready to go. Now you're going to want to pick the tool that you want to use to create the design in the water marble. I choose one of these three, either a toothpick, a orange stick, or a small dotting tool. These work the best for me when trying to decide what I want to use to create the design. I usually use the toothpick if I'm doing a design that requires very small lines or really close together designs. The orange stick and the dotting tool are used for just basic designs, just your basic kind of flower design, and nothing that really needs really fine lines. So these are the three that I use, and depending on the pattern that I want to have for my water marble will depend on which one of these tools that I will be using. So the next thing is prepping your cuticles for the water marble. I have three different ways that I do it depending on what I want to show y'all in the video. I had one where I used just petroleum jelly for the cuticles. This works well, but it's not my favorite. My favorite is using tape. So yeah, my favorite is using tape. This is my tape dispenser, and my favorite method of protecting my cuticles and also for easy cleanup is tape. And also recently I did a video on this. It is the Liquid Palisade or Palisade. Still not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but this works really well also with easy cleanup for water marble. So I've been also using this to help with the cleanup and just protecting the cuticles from the nail polish. So the first method I'm going to show you is using tape. So right here I just have 2 pieces of tape right here on the fingers. I don't tape all of my fingers all at once. I usually do 1 or 2 depending on if I can dip 1 or 2 fingers in at a time. I take the tape And the first piece I will put at the tip of the finger, and then smooth it as close to the nail as possible without touching the actual nail. If you touch the nail, then your design won't go on that part of the nail. So again, put it as close as you can. What I like to do is take an orange stick and just kind of flatten it out as close to the nail as I possibly can. Then I take the second piece of tape and put it right at the cuticle, and then just bring it around. And so you have your nail prepped for the water marble. For the petroleum jelly, for less mess, I use a nail art brush to brush on the petroleum jelly. So I start at the bottom of the cuticle and just kind of brush it down. Go on the sides of the nail, getting as close to the nail without touching it. Just going all around it. Try to go a little further down. Sometimes I get polish near my knuckle, so I bring it down a little further. With the tape, you can't really bring it down any further than like halfway to your knuckle, so that you really can't avoid. Then, using the Liquid Palisade, I just take some on the brush, and then start on the sides and just brush it on. And it'll be a light purple when you start to brush it on, and then once it dries, it'll be a darker purple. So you want to work a little quickly with this, because it'll start to get tacky, and then you won't be able to brush over it. Go a little further down, then on the other side, just brush it on your finger. And as long as it's all connecting, it'll all come up at once. Even if it's not, you can still just peel it off. Make sure to get as close to the cuticle as possible, again without touching your actual nail. Okay, so now that we have the fingers prepped, start off by warming up the polish. Just shake each bottle a little bit just to make sure it's all together. And what you want to do, you want to open both bottles of polish. Have them sitting next to the cup as close as you can, so that way you don't have a far distance to go. And since I've already tested out this polish, there's a couple of pieces of nail polish still in the water, so I'm just going to take that out. So if this is the first finger that you did, you want to just test out to make sure the water's clean. So I'm just going to put in 1 drop of polish, see how much it spreads, and if it's not spreading all the way around, just go around the polish and it'll spread it out. That way anything else that's in there will come out. Give it some time, or blow on it to dry it up a little faster, and then clean up the rest of the surface. And on the side where I wipe the orange stick is just like a cloth or paper towel or napkin, whatever I have on hand, to clean off the orange stick, because you don't want to keep all that polish on there, because it'll really just make the design really messy. So I have my polishes next to me, and then you also want to have the tool that you're going to use. So I'm going to use an orange stick because I wanted to do a zigzag design. So I'm going to have the orange stick right here next to me, ready to go. So once I'm done building my bullseye polish, then the orange stick is right here next to me and it's ready to go. So the first color I'm going to do is the black. I'm going to just dip it in a couple of times to make sure I have enough polish on the brush, and then hover it over the water. And sometimes I touch the polish to the water, sometimes it comes out fast enough that I don't need to. It all just depends on how the polish is acting. So I'm just going to dip it in, hover it over the water, let it drop in, and then go on to the pink. Do the exact same thing. And then just create the amount of lines that I want to create for the design. Working as fast as I can without making a complete mess. Don't want to jinx myself, but I've never had a polish bottle fall. I think I just messed up my nail too. So now that I have the bullseye created and it's all done, I'm just going to move these to the side a little bit and then take my orange stick, creating my design. I always like to start off going up and down first for some reason, then I'm going to go just like that. Then I'm just going to do a really simple design, that way I can dunk multiple fingers at once. Just going to go up and then down, and I'm going to wipe off my orange stick each time just to make sure I don't create a messy design. So I'm going to keep doing that. And I try to avoid to go all the way to the beginning, the very first nail polish that I dropped, because that's usually dry. So just be careful with that. Sometimes you can't avoid it. So once I have that done, I'm going to turn the cup a little bit to get the designs that I want. And I might have to do just one finger because only one design that I am pleased with. So I like to clean up the polish around it with a Q-tip. It just makes it a little easier. I can just clean it up and then throw it away or use the other side. So once I get the design that I want, I dip my finger in. I'm going to turn it some more. And I always get questions on, do I have to clean up the polish around it? And yes, because once you take your finger out, you don't want the excess polish to get on your finger, because then you will ruin your design. Just, there you go. And there's that design right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do it again. Hopefully I can get a good design so I can dip the other two fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So with this one, I am able to dip in two fingers at the same time. So I'm just going to turn it so that both my fingers can go in the exact same time. I'm going to use the same Q-tip I used last time. And the fingers, I'm going to just dunk them in. Clean up the polish around them because I don't want any of the excess polish to be on my nails. Blow on it just to make it go a little faster. And then okay, so I'm going to be removing the Vaseline first. So I'll just take the back of the orange stick and just start scraping it away. Comes off really easily as long as the Vaseline is on there. Sometimes my finger rubs up against the cup and removes some of it, but most of the time it's pretty easy just to get it off. It's just a little more work than the tape would be. And then once I get a little closer to the nail, I switch it over to the other side. It's because the point can really get in there. And I do have some polish I will have to remove with nail polish remover. And I will show y'all how I do that after I take off the other two. So for the tape, I just have these little nail scissors that I use only for removal of tape. I got it from the dollar store. This is the only reason why I got it, is to remove the tape. So what you want to do is just start cutting it right from the back, and then carefully cutting it at the top. So I have a pair of tweezers that I also got from the dollar store that I use exclusively for taking the tape off for water marble. So I just take the tweezers and just gently lift the tape up, and then just throw the tape away. For the Liquid Palisade, I have a smaller pair of tweezers, and I'm just going to just lift up a piece of it. As you can see, it's just coming up. And just start lifting it up. And there that is right there. That will also be just thrown away. I don't know if I put it down this far. It might have to be removed with nail polish remover. Yep. So you'll have you might not have some polish that you'll need to remove with nail polish remover. I just use either acetone or non-acetone nail polish remover to remove the polish. I like to use the acetone because it is faster and I don't have to rub as much. So I'll take this polish off from the bottom. I use a Q-tip for that. Just comes off really easily. I have some acetone in a little dapping dish next to me. Just remove all the polish around the finger. I still have polish that is really close to the actual nail, so I don't like using a cotton swab with that. I will take a small nail brush, dip that into the acetone, and just go around the nail to carefully remove any polish that is around it. Okay, so I was finishing the other two fingers, and the thumb had some air bubbles, so I'm going to take this time to kind of explain what I do to fix air bubbles. So if the air bubbles aren't that large, like these aren't right here, and sometimes it doesn't bother me that I have them. Sometimes they get smoothed out with the top coat, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they get worse with the top coat. So most of the times I will take a polish that is close to the color that the air bubble is up under. So for instance, for this one, it is up under black. So all I just do is take some black, put it on the piece of paper, take the smallest dotting tool I have, or a toothpick, and just place a small dot right there. So that way it's not so obvious and I don't have a huge pink dot right in the middle of the black. So next what you want to do is just let that dry before you put the top coat on, and by that time the other fingernails are already dry, so you can go ahead and apply your top coat to the rest of them as you wait for the dot to dry. So the top coat that I will be using is the Out the Door top coat. I got this from Sally's. It is a huge bottle of top coat and I love it. I do like Seche Vite, but it has a tendency to dry on you, and once it dries and gets sticky, there is no coming back from that. I've tried nail polish thinner, that doesn't work, and it's really expensive for a top coat. It works really well, but the fact that it dries on me is just kind of a turn off for it. So I got this big bottle of Out the Door. I've tried Out the Door before and I loved it, so I'm gonna stick with this for now. Also, because I use acetone polish, I need to apply some cuticle oil so my cuticles don't get dried out. This is the Orly Argan Cuticle Oil. I got this from Sally's. It's just a little sample, but it has lasted a long time. So I'm just going to apply this around the nail, and then once I've applied it to all 5 fingers, then I'm going to just rub it in. So if y'all see any of my pictures on Instagram or on Facebook or anything and my cuticles look really shiny, this is what I put on my cuticles just to keep them from cracking and drying out, because you know, nobody wants that. So I have all of my fingers painted and the top coat is on. Just wait for them to dry and then you will be all done. So if you have any more questions about water marble, just leave them down below and I will be happy to answer them. I also have a blog post about some tips that I use for water marble, and also have my previous video about the step-by-step water marble. So I'll leave all those links down below, and the link to the video that I did just showing the water marble, this design all by itself. And I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all learned a little more about water marble to help y'all achieve water marble also. And I will see y'all Wednesday for another water marble video.